Ah, I'm glad. I'm relieved. Oh, that's good. That's good. Oh my goodness. I think I'm already live. Wow. Okay. Welcome, everybody. My name is Evelina Borden. I'm a realtor here in Charleston. And if you are thinking about moving to this part of the country, then watch this video. So I'm going to be talking about 15 common questions I get from people trying to relocate here. So question number one. What areas should I look at if I want to live close to downtown but not pay downtown prices? Okay, so in a nutshell, that is West Ashley. West Ashley, as the name says, is west of the Ashley. So when you're looking at Charleston, it's a little bit west. So you got to cross one bridge and you're right there. The median house price is $560,000. So that means, you are paying a lot less than, $1 million, 2 or 3 for downtown Charleston, but you are still super, super close. Question number two. How bad is flooding really, and how do I know if a house is in a flood zone? Well, the best information is on the FEMA website. So if you would like me to send you a link, drop a comment, FEMA flood maps in, and I will send it over to you. There are also a couple of other areas where you can find out more about the flood zone. Every county has a GIS map, and there you can click on various layers and you can look for wetlands, flood zones, all different kinds of information. Very, very useful. So if you want to find out more about that, you just drop me a comment down here. So question number three. Is Charleston more expensive than where I live now? And what costs surprise people most? Well, it depends on where you're from. So if you are from, let's say, I don't know, the rural areas of Montana, then we are probably more expensive. However, if you are from New York City or LA, San Francisco, then we are a real bargain. And yeah, what costs surprise people most? Well, the taxes surprise a lot because we are known to be super low as far as the property taxes are concerned. On average, we are about half the price compared to the average, in the United States. So that's kind of cool. And insurance, yes, that has been a hot topic in the past year or two. And that is because we have we are close to the coast, so there will be, that will require a premium. And, the fact is that the insurance carriers have not written a lot of profits over the past, few years. So they raised the prices. Not only did they raise the prices, they dropped some of existing clients. For example, if the roof is over 12 years old, and if you think about the age of a roof, 12 years is kind of like in the middle, and there is no need to replace a roof. But some insurance carriers have just canceled the policies, and then the homeowner has to look for alternatives. And there's still companies, insurance carriers that that will insure you and write a policy, but that comes at a premium. So sometimes you have to pay like $1,000 more. So here again, if you want more information on that, drop me a comment, and I can connect you with a very good person to give you more information. So then question number 4. Should I buy an older historic home or new construction? And what are the real trade-offs? Well, the short answer is It depends. If you like the charm of older historic home, Charleston is known for the typical Charleston single. You have like a front porch or a side porch, actually, where people a couple hundred years ago drank their sweet tea and all of that. Then a historic home is great. The trade-off is that there's always something that needs to get fixed. You have to update the electrical or the plumbing, or some of the windows need replacement. And if you have an historic home, you have to follow certain rules. We have the BAR, the Board of Architectural Review in downtown Charleston, and everything you do to the outside of a historic home has to be approved by this department. So when it comes to new construction, that is best for people who just love worry-free or relatively worry-free life. You can just move in and enjoy. Everything is new. The roof is new, the HVAC, the water heater, the floors, the electrical, the plumbing, and you do have your warranties when you're buying new construction. So that's kind of a plus too. So here again, it depends on you what your preference is. So question number 5. How competitive is the market right now? Am I going to be in bidding wars? Well, it's not 2021 or 2022 anymore. So these bidding wars, we don't have them anymore. So that being said, if a property enters the market and is like in a great location, competitively priced, and in good condition, we still see multiple offers, but a lot fewer than we just had 3-4 years ago. I hope that helps. Question number 6. What's the best area for families with kids? Well, here again, the short answer is it depends. It depends on various factors. For once, it's your budget. If you have a budget between like $300,000 and like $600,000, the Somerville area would be great. There's lots of neighborhoods that are very family friendly with amenities like pool and pickleball and tennis and playgrounds. And lots of these communities are in preferred school districts. Here again, if you would like to find out more, you can drop me a comment down here and I will get you more information. If your price point is a little bit higher, let's go north of like $600,000, Mount Pleasant, which is east of downtown Charleston, is a great option. Lots of family-friendly neighborhoods, just to name a few. It's Bell Hall Plantation, Oyster Point, Charleston National, Hamlin Plantation. The list goes on. And every neighborhood is very unique and offers different things. So if you want to find out more, drop me a note down here, and I will send you more information about the individual neighborhoods. Question number 7. Where do people live if they work remotely and want space and lifestyle? Well, that's kind of a tricky question. So if you want space, you need to go further out, because everything close to Charleston is on relatively smallish lots. So when you have the typical family-friendly neighborhoods, the lot sizes, they range between 0.15 acres and like 0.25 acres. And if you want like more space, like plus half acre, you have to go more out. So we have, for example, a Ravenel neighborhood, Poplar Grove. You have larger lots in there. Or if you go towards Ridgeville, the lots tend to be a lot larger as well. So yeah. Question number 8. How far is too far for commuting in Charleston traffic? Yeah, Traffic has been building up because we had a lot of influx, particularly because of the pandemic. You know, people found out they can work remotely, and so they just wanted to live at a nicer place. And you know, we are right on, on the Atlantic, and what's not to like about this area here? So. But what is too far? I would say if you were to buy a house in Colombia, that is too far because it takes about 2 hours to come to Charleston. So that would definitely be too far. Okay, then question number 9. What do out-of-state buyers misunderstand most about Charleston real estate? Well, the size, I would say. So if we look at the size of downtown Charleston, it's about 5 square miles. So it's a peninsula. It's fairly small. So 5 square miles corresponds to about 3,200 acres. So if we take the major counties surrounding downtown Charleston, which is Charleston County, Berkeley County, and Dorchester County, well, then we're talking about an area of about 3,100 square miles compared to like 5 square miles downtown Charleston. So if you convert like 3,100 square miles into acres, that's about 2 million. So 2 million acres versus 3,200 acres for downtown Charleston. So that will put it a little bit into perspective. This area is pretty big. Question number 10. What should I know about insurance? Yes. Well, I just touched up a little bit on that subject earlier here, just a couple of minutes ago. And yeah, we do have vast difference when it comes to insurance. So first, we have to distinguish between pre-owned homes and new construction. So new construction, all things being equal, has a much, much lower insurance premium from the start because everything is new. So for the insurance carrier, there is no risk because the roof is new, all the major systems are new, so the premium is a lot lower. Then I mentioned it earlier, age of the roof has gotten into the headlines lately because insurance companies, or a lot of them, are not they do not write policies anymore for homes with roofs that are over 12 years old. So when you purchase a home, this is something we have to pay attention to. Then another issue is, are you in a flood zone or are you not? So if you are in a flood zone, then, and you do carry a mortgage, then you are obligated to carry flood insurance. And that also, the premium depends on the home you purchase. You know, is it on a crawl space? Is it on a slab? Is it elevated? And then, you know, the premiums vary significantly in price. So that is something you have to know about. And then, you know, it also depends, are you in a wind zone? You know, the insurance companies, they have wind zones. To give you a quick example, everything, you know, when you're looking at Highway 17, everything that's pointing towards the ocean, that is in a wind zone, and you just pay more in premiums. So here again, if you want to find out more about this, just drop me a comment below. Is the question number 11. Is Charleston a good place to buy an investment property or short-term rental? Yeah, that was also something, you know, that was a hot market during the pandemic. Yes, so the short-term rental regulations for Charleston and the city of Charleston are very, very strict. You do have to be, so for any short-term rental property in downtown Charleston, you have to be in the so-called overlay district. It's a very tiny, small area in downtown. And when you are outside of the city, it depends on whether your home belongs to Charleston County or the city of Charleston. And what may surprise some people is that on the same street, there could be one property that belongs to the city of Charleston and the neighboring property belongs to Charleston County. And they have very, very different rules. Here again, if you would like more information on that topic, drop me a comment in the note and I will connect you. I will connect with you and, give you some more detailed information on that topic. Then investment properties. Yes, investment properties. What most people do not realize that the property tax situation changes significantly if you have an investment property compared to a primary residence. So the reason why we have these low property taxes is because the state gives gives homeowners a very steep discount when it comes to property taxes, but only if they use their property as their primary residence. So what this means in numbers is that any investment property or second home, the property taxes actually triple. So that is significantly. So the average property tax bill is around $2,000 here for the entire area. And so there is a big difference between $2,000 and $6,000. So here again, if you are considering purchasing an investment property, you can always reach out to me and I will look up how much these taxes can be. And the next question is question number 12. What's the best time of year to buy a home in Charleston? Right now. Right now is the best time because, these November, December months, people are usually busy with Thanksgiving, the holidays. You see, I have a Christmas tree in the back. They are busy with other things. So it's just what this means is there is less buyer competition, if you're looking for a property, and less buyer competition translates into lower prices, purchase prices. And so another great time of the year, is the spring, even though that sounds like kind of the opposite of what I just said, but I'm saying it because we usually see more inventory. So that gives the buyer more options. So I hope that makes sense. And my next question that I get very often is question number 13. How important is it to work with a local agent instead of shopping online? Well, it makes all the difference, my friends. You do need an experienced agent, and I do recommend doing your due diligence and researching this agent. You can do that by, for example, going on Zillow and typing in the agent's name and see what their production was over the past 12 months. You do need somebody who does it full time because they are in the business. They know the most recent changes when it comes to contracts, when it comes to strategies, when it comes to knowing the market. You do need a local who understands the difference between a neighborhood A and neighborhood B. It may be, something like, neighborhood A has a much lower rental quota than neighborhood B. That is important because when you're thinking, for example, about resale value, you do not want to be you don't want to own a house that is in a neighborhood that has lots of renters, because those neighborhoods tend to be looking less desirable. I hope that makes sense. So if you want to know more about these neighborhoods, just drop me a comment below, and we will connect. And the next question, question number 14, which areas are growing the fastest and still offer good long-term value? So because we are coastal, we can't build into the ocean because you can't build there. I see a lot of action going towards the west side of Charleston, so past West Ashley. We are talking about the areas in Hollywood and Ravenel. Those areas are expanding, and you get very good prices, and the infrastructure is catching up, which will increase the value of your property significantly once it has caught up. If you want to know more or want to be set up for homes for that area, just drop me a line and I will send you some options. And I can also put you on a drip, so you will automatically be notified as soon as something comes up. And here is the last question I very often get is, what do people who move here say they wish they had known before buying? Well, I hear a lot. Bugs. Yes, we have a lot of bugs. We have not only mosquitoes, we have what we call no-see-ums. We call them because you can't see them. They are so tiny, and they can really go on your nerves. That is something I hear a lot. Then I hear, you have to understand the difference between downtown and the suburbs, and when we talk about suburbs, what are the real differences between those areas? And what does it mean, as far as the infrastructure is concerned? So here again, it is important that you have a local by your side who can explain all of this. Then, of course, new construction versus old. Yes, here again, it's a preference. I personally like new construction because I like to be worry-free. Not that new construction is always worry-free, but very often it is. But if you like a historic home, I certainly understand the charm of that, because you can't replicate that with new construction. Then people, and I touched up on it earlier in my video, is the difference between owning a home as a primary resident compared to a secondary residence, because that has true implications on your wallet in form of different property taxes. So here again, if you want more information on that, please reach out to me. I'm a full-time realtor with the Borman Group, Agent on Realty here in Charleston. I've been doing this now. I'm starting my 7th year. I can't believe it. I love my job. You can always call me at 843-714-3806. Bye, guys.